Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford, so grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to another episode of Just Minding My Business. I hope your day was full of purpose. Today we have coming to the mic Carmen A. Booker, who is a native of Atlanta, Georgia. Carmen Booker attended Howard University, where she received her Bachelor's of Arts degree and a Juris Doctor degree. Ms. Booker is a business attorney and the chief consultant for Compu-Perfect Professional Services, which is a business consulting firm that specializes in 501c3 tax exemption applications, corporate, limited liability company, and nonprofit entity formations, copyright registration, trademark search and registration, patent registration, grant research and writing services, and estate planning services. Wow, you are definitely everything when it comes to law. Ms. Booker has 22 plus years of experience writing contracts and business plans, forming business entities, corporations, LLCs, and nonprofit organizations. She also has 20 years of editing experience. Wow. I am glad to know you, Ms. Booker.
Thank you so much.
Well, tell us about yourself.
Well, I attended Howard University undergrad and also Howard Law School. And as you mentioned previously, I have a business consulting firm called Compu-Perfect Professional Services. And we establish corporations and limited liability companies. We also establish nonprofit organizations and help them get their tax exempt status and get funding. And we also provide contract drafting and reviewing and do trademark searches and registrations for both business, for-profit and nonprofit organizations, and provide estate planning services. So we've been doing this for quite a while. I love to write, and I'm a Christian author as well.
Wow. Okay, so I know you've been in business over 20-something years, so you're definitely an expert in what you do. So where is your company located?
My company is located in Hyattsville, Maryland, but I have clients in different states. So I'm not limited geographically at all.
Okay, so you're a nationwide operation.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So let's back it up a little bit. I know you've been in this business for 20-something years, but what made you want to do this type of work? What was your motivation?
Well, I come across a lot of people that want to start businesses and really don't know how and what to do. So that was the motivation for me starting my business and providing good services with good professional services with the personability, being friendly and really going beyond just providing the service to the clients, but also finding out what are the other needs and then meeting those needs. Because some business owners might need motivation to move forward with their business. They may want they may want to find out how to overcome the barriers to starting a business, and there are two main barriers. One is the fear of failure and the fear of rejection. So as a matter of fact, I wrote a book entitled Biblical Entrepreneurship that talks about this, and this talks about the 7 steps of starting and operating your business. And the first step is obtaining a vision for your business. And the second step is how to hear from God, is how to implement the vision you've given. And the third step is overcoming obstacles of fear, failure, and fear of rejection, because To me, those are two major barriers, but you can overcome it by faith in God's word, because faith casteth out fear. Perfect love casteth out fear. When you put your faith and trust in God and his word, fear can't be a stronghold in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Another step is I talk about the different types of business entities and selecting the best one for your business, because there are 4 major business types: sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and limited liability company. So I'll talk about that in the book as well, and how to develop a business plan, which is really an action plan, and your blueprint for success. If you don't have a plan of action, failure is evident.
Yes, you're so right.
Yeah. So that's one of the books I've written. I've written several books, but that's one of the business books. And connecting your way to relationships that lead to success. I truly believe that networking is so important in business, because when networking, you come across other people that you can help and that can help you. So you develop relations with them and cross-promote and cross-market. So it's a win-win situation for everybody involved.
And that's one of the things, in the sister circle that I talk about is the networking and, the business plan. And I use the term a picture of your business, because when you first getting started, you kind of really don't know how it's going to be, but you know where you are in space and time in that moment. So your business plan is kind of centered around, who are you serving, who's your, ideal client, and how are you going to do your business. So if you're a 9 to 5 still working, then you already know you have a limited amount of time to work on your business. So that means you need to create some type of working hours. If you have children, you have a husband, you have to factor all of those things in. If you have some kind of medical issues that you might have a problem with from time to time, you have to factor that in as well. So I typically call it a picture of your business, because at that point, it's not for a bank, it's for you.
Right. Yes.
And it just goes back to the SMART goals. Factor it all in. Because to me, in the one body that you have, everything happens. You've got your personal life, you've got your business life, you've got your family life. So when you're sitting down and you're planning things, all of that has to be in the mix with what you're trying to do, because they are a part of who you are.
Yes, that's right. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I mentioned previously I talk about the 7 steps for starting and operating your business. And the first step is how to obtain a vision for your business. Because without a vision, you can't move forward. You can't set goals. You have to have a foundation, and the vision is your foundation. The step 2 is how to hear from God, is how to implement the vision he's given you. He may have put on your heart to start a baking company. And so the key is finding out, well, how am I going to start the baking company? How am I going to get the goods and the products to make the baked goods, the pies and cakes? How am I going to market? And so I talk about that as well. And the different types of business entities, sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, and limited liability company, and the advantages and disadvantages of each. I also talk about how to develop a business plan and the importance of having a business plan and how to promote your business. And step 7 talks about the tax tips for having a home-based business. When a person has a home-based business, they can avail themselves to the home office deduction. But you have to exclusively and regularly use that portion of your house for your business. Say, for example, you have a room that's designated for your business, and it represents 20% of your home. Well, you can write off 20% of your real estate taxes and other things. So I talk about all of that in the book, Biblical Entrepreneurship. And people can purchase the book by going to my website, thekingdommindederentrepreneur.info. That's thekingdommindederentrepreneur.info.
Okay. So how do people connect with your other services, your Compu-Perfect professional services?
Okay, they can contact me at 301-408-1082. And they can also email me at the letter K, Booker, K-B-O-O-K-E-R, 533@gmail.com. And I do have a website for my business consulting firm, Compu-Perfect. It's called www.compuperfect.net. That's www.compuperfect.net.
Okay. I definitely want to talk a little bit about the entities, because I think a lot of people are not clear about what the different entities are and their advantages and disadvantages.
Oh,
so
okay.
Most people have the LLC. So let's we can start with the sole proprietor. We already know. Well, maybe my audience don't know. I know, but let's go ahead and just give a quick synopsis of each of those entities.
Okay, well, with the sole proprietorship, you basically only have one person that's doing everything, developing the products or providing the services, doing the marketing, bookkeeping, and all of that. And with the sole proprietorship, it doesn't shield you from personal liability. If someone were to sue, they would sue you personally and be able to attach your personal assets, such as your bank accounts and other financial assets that you might have. So that's not necessarily the best type of entity to have. But the partnership, you have two or more people that come together and run the business, and different partners have different responsibilities. One may be in charge of marketing. Another partner might be in charge of providing services or developing the products. But with a partnership, each partner is individually and collectively responsible for the debts and obligations of the partnership. So if someone were to sue the partnership, they can still sue you personally and attach your personal assets. So again, the partnership is not necessarily a good entity from a liability standpoint and protection. The corporation is another business entity. And with the corporation, it's a three-tier structure. You have directors that make managerial decisions regarding the corporation, and then you have stockholders, people who have a percentage ownership interest in the corporation and are entitled to receive a percentage of the net profits of the corporation. And then you have the officers like your president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. And with the corporation, it does shield you from personal liability. If someone were to sue, they would sue the corporation itself and not you as an individual, because you would not be responsible in any way for the debts and obligations of the corporation. But from a tax standpoint, the corporation is not necessarily the best entity from the tax standpoint, but it is pretty good for liability protection. The limited liability company, a lot of people are establishing limited liability companies because with a limited liability, it's similar to a corporation, but you have what's called members. And the members of the limited liability company make the decisions regarding the limited liability company. And from a tax point, the income that the LLC receives is based upon the individual member's income tax bracket. So the income tax bracket is 25%. Then the income that the limited liability company receives is based on 25% as opposed to a 45 or 46% tax rate for a corporation. So there's a tax benefit to having a LLC. And also the LLC will protect you and shield you from personal liability, because if someone were to sue, they would sue the LLC and not you personally.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just have a question, if I may. This is Ruth, Carmen.
Yes.
In the LLC, how many people have to be part? Do you have to have more than one person, or can you form an LLC with just yourself?
Well, a lot of states are allowing people to establish what's called a single-member LLC, one person. and some states require that you have more than one. But I established both single and multi-member LLCs, because in the state of Maryland, for example, they will allow you to establish a single-member LLC or a multi-member LLC. But with the multi-member LLC, you need an operating agreement. And the operating agreement is an agreement that spells out how profits and losses are going to be shared, if someone wants to capitalize the LLC, how they're going to be repaid back, and other things. So I take care of all that. As a matter of fact, I offer a package deal for LLCs and corporations.
So what's the difference with the LLC for a single person? What are the different tax benefits, et cetera, or liabilities for that matter?
Well, the tax benefit is still the same.
Okay.
For a single-member LLC, but with a single-member LLC, you don't have to have an operating agreement, as you would with a multi-member LLC.
Okay. So all the business and all the arrangements and all the operations, et cetera, can be decided singly by that one person without having responsibility to anyone else.
Right.
Now, if that LLC is to develop, and I'm asking this because there are people who are listening who may not want to have or may not be in the position to start with multiple people in their LLC. Mm-hmm. So they're wondering how to get the best protection for themselves as a individual doing business. Okay, well, a single-member LLC would be good. And then if they come across people that they want to add on in the LLC, they can they can take part as a manager or a non-managing member of the LLC and be entitled to receive a percentage ownership interest. Say, for example, you and I, you form an LLC called Jehovah Jireh LLC, and you're providing IT consulting services under that LLC. But later on, you and I, we meet and we collaborate. We establish a relationship, business relationship, and I want to become a part of that LLC. And I give you $5,000. So in return for the $5,000 that I have invested in your LLC, I'm entitled to receive 5% of the net profits of the limited liability company. So I'm now a member, but I'm not engaged in the management of the LLC. So I'm a non-managing member of the LLC. Okay, thank you for that. So that would make you also a member of the board?
It would make me, I would be entitled to engage in meetings regarding the LLC, but I would not be a voting member necessarily unless I elect to do that.
Okay, all righty. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karma.
Thank you.
Just wanted to definitely get that out there. So let's switch gears for a minute and let's talk about your author side of you.
Okay.
How long have you been an author?
I've been an author for 32 years.
Wow, that's a good long time. And okay. So when did you start?
I started writing when I was a sophomore at Howard University, and I was bored one day in the fall and started looking outside, and I wrote a poem called Fall is Here. And so I developed a book of poetry called Infinity, which is my first book.
Okay.
But I've been writing a lot of different books from that standpoint. I've written You Are God's Masterpiece, which is a book designed to build the self-esteem of women. And You Are Called to Greatness, which is a book compilation that features 10 women who experienced domestic violence abuse and overcame it by faith in God's Word. And another book entitled Discovering Your Spiritual Gifts, to help people discover what their spiritual gifts are and their God-given purpose. Because I truly believe that once you discover what your God-given purpose is, you're going to live a life of fulfillment.
Okay. So let's talk about the one that you've written, Biblical Entrepreneurship. I really like the sound of that. So what motivated you to write that?
Because I've come across a lot of people that have dreams and visions of starting a business but really don't know how and what to do. So God put in my heart to write the book. help them to see what the steps really are.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 steps that I've gone over previously in the interview. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And where can people pick that book up at?
They can go to my website, thekingdommindederentrepreneur.info. That's thekingdommindederentrepreneur.info, and click on Shop, the Shop tab.
Okay.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, I also have a question here as far as your writing is concerned. You've been doing it for a long time, and I noticed that you also are an editor. How long have you been editing?
For 20 years now.
Okay, for 20 years. Do you work with very established writers, or do you work with new writers?
I work with all kinds of people who are new writers, established writers, authors, people who need their marketing materials edited and developed, business plans. So, yes, I work with different people.
Okay. So my question, this is what I'm leading to, is as you work with people who are new writers, what are some of the common mistakes that are made, and what suggestions can you give to those who want to write a book to make sure that it is readable and that their thoughts are effectively presented? Because there's so many people out here writing books, and some of them are almost unreadable. We have the whole e-book. I'm talking about the e-book generation of writing. So if you could give us some insight, I'm sure it would be helpful.
Okay, well, generally, new writers have difficulty with subject-verb agreement and with consistency because, for example, a writer might use contractions, don't, and then do not. So there's a lack of consistency there. So subject-verb agreement and consistency are important. Mm-hmm. And sometimes new writers, they're, how shall I say, there's not a good flow of thought in what they're writing. So I help them with that.
What about
those are the major errors that I've come across.
Okay. Can you give them any help in to our listening audience when it comes to proofreading? We know that an editor also goes through and they're going to be looking for errors and whatnot, but how can a new writer or any writer help themselves with the proofreading aspects of their writing? Because, sometimes we get married to our words and we have to let go of that.
Well, I would suggest that they use a spell check system through a software like Microsoft Word, for example, and a thesaurus to help with that.
Okay,
but
I didn't
if they
catch.
Don't want to do it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the second. You said a spell check, and what was it?
A thesaurus.
Oh, a thesaurus. Okay.
Yes, thesaurus. Yes, but if they feel like they need more than that, that's where I come in, and I can actually provide the editing services for them, which includes proofreading and copy editing, rewriting as needed to help with the flow and consistency of their writing, so that it is readable and understandable by the reader.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so you are a ball of resources, Ms. Karma.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you are. You've got everything the business person needs to get it going.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
For sure. So, again, what services do you provide, and how can our audience connect with you?
Okay. I establish corporations, limited liability companies, We also establish nonprofit organizations and help nonprofits get their tax and status and get funding. We write and review contracts and do trademark searches and registrations and estate planning services. And people can call me at 301-408-1082. And they can also email me at the letter K, BOOKER, 533@gmail.com. That's kbooker533@gmail.com. And they can go to my website, Compu-Perfect.net.
Okay. Well, it has been an awesome conversation with you, Carmen.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we connected again. And
Me too.
I'm able to learn all the good stuff you've been doing. And I'm definitely looking forward to having you back on this show, especially in the beginning of the year, because that's a lot of times when people, they come up with, I want to do this and I want to do that. And having somebody that can direct them and be able to help them to get started on the right foot is definitely critical. So I would definitely like to have you back on our show when we begin to talk about getting that business started.
Okay, that sounds great. I thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. Appreciate your support.
We thank you for saying yes and coming on.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And y'all have a blessed week.
This show is brought to you by the amazing women of a Sister Circle Empowerment Network, a SIN LLC, where we are never in competition, but always in collaboration, and our valued sponsors. Learn more about our sponsors and their services and membership in a Sister Circle, a SIN LLC, at www.asistercircle.org. To learn about becoming a sponsor for Just Minding My Business Radio and how our marketing package benefits your company, please visit our website at www.asistercircle.org. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks. Contact slvoiceworks8201 at yahoo.com or call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford. We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.